as a different being than you are used to experiencing yourself as.
Okay.
It's still you, it's just a different expression of you, a different level of you. It's another aspect of you.
Okay. So I got really tired. I had to take a nap at the break. I felt...
Sometimes that happens when new energy comes in that you're not used to handling. You need to take it more easily. You need to absorb it with your physical mind out of the way.
Okay. And then I had a hard time with my memory, and
That's a good thing.
Okay. I love that. Tell me more about that.
We have no memory at all. Zero. We simply know that we will know what we need to know when we need to know it.
I know it.
Memory is created in the present. Doesn't really come from the past.
Yes.
So sometimes, now again, not always. There can be many reasons for this, some positive, some negative. But in general, what we're talking about is the idea that when you live in the moment, you don't need memory. You will know what you need to know in that moment based on the frequency you're at that is then commensurate with the information you need at that moment. That's the way it works.
Okay. And so there was a little bit of fear that came up because I actually was having a hard time driving, and I didn't recognize a few people.
All right. Well, that's all right. And you know, if that happens when you're driving, you can always pull over.
I eventually, because the next day it lasted, so I eventually had my friend drive us home, but I just kept feeling in and out.
That's fine. It's part of the process of reorienting. Remember, to reorient to a new reality, you have to disorient from the other one.
Okay.
So you're just in that limbo state of reorientation, attempting to find your compass needle and which way it's pointing again.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
It's part of the process. It's like shifting gears. You go through neutral to go into another gear, yes?
Yeah.
And in neutral, for a moment, the gears are spinning free.
Right.
That's part of the natural process of transformation and change. Ride with it, flow with it, enjoy it while it lasts. Yes?
Yes. And
like a mini vacation. In between parallel reality experiences when they click back into gear.
Okay.
Yes?
So basically your explanation is I was going into allowing new energies and transferring in between
an upgrade of your own understanding of self, becoming more of who you are. Yes. But sometimes you will go through a little bit of a limbo state to allow that adjustment to click in a little bit more smoothly.
Okay, so it's okay if I don't remember people.
It's okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it,
Yeah.
or you actually will know less. Yes?
Right.
Relax, and everything you need to know will come to you when it needs to. It's all right. It's all right sometimes, even with what you believe to be your best lifelong friend. I've just blanked on your name. It's all right. I'm going through a process here. It's all right. I haven't forgotten about you. I still love you. But right now, certain bits of information are simply not relevant for me to know right now.
Okay. And there was I was told it was the second most powerful full moon that weekend. Was there anything that had to do with the energy, or can you speak to that?
Well, again, that's a symbolic reflection of what's going on in the collective consciousness on a certain level. It's a big subject. We'll talk about that some other time.
Okay. And then I really loved that you brought up the masculine and feminine archetypes. Could you expand a little bit more on each archetype and what they represent?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.
I love you.
Our love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
First, I just wanted to thank you for your role in the expansion of my consciousness. So thank you for that.
We thank you for all of your roles in the expansion of ours.
I had received synchronicities for Maui for a few months. So I went to Maui last month.
And the heart chakra of the planet.
Yeah. And on the night before I went to Haleakala, I saw a face with one yellow eye, and I got the name Carlisle. But if you could help provide clarity on...
If you will excuse us for a moment, even though it doesn't translate through the channel's body, we are laughing.
What's funny?
Carlisle is a funny being. Kind of a trickster energy that is native to the islands.
Okay.
You are dealing with, again, the idea of the expression of a nature spirit an aspect of the collective consciousness of your reality expressing itself in a certain way that is kind of tricking you toward more of yourself. Very playful kind of energy.
Okay. The Trickster has been coming up a lot for me in oracle cards.
Well, there you go. You see,
Okay.
you have your own synchronicity with it.
Yes. And I feel oddly called to Maui in...
Oddly?
Okay, I guess it's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And there's something about the hybrid children where I feel like I'm going to have a role with that, but I don't understand why that nugget of information is being given to me this early.
Because Maui will be one of the sanctuaries for the hybrid children.
So sometimes when I'm meditating, I get faces of what I think are hybrid children. Like
sometimes they are and sometimes they're not.
Okay. So is that something I'm opening up more to? Should I be connecting with them?
Can't you answer that question yourself?
I want to, I guess is the answer.
Well, it's not about wanting to. It's about, are you doing it or aren't you doing it?
I'm not currently doing it.
Why not?
I have many excitements at the moment, and I'm having...
But you act on the one that is the highest, that you're the most capable of acting on, don't you? Are you following the formula?
I am starting to, yes.
All right, up to you. The idea is to act on the one that excites you the most, that you are most capable of doing something about. If there are more than one that seem to have equal capability to act on, then it doesn't really matter which one you choose, because the self-guiding principle that's built into it will turn you around to the other one if that one isn't the correct one for you at that moment.
I agree with that. I understand that.
Well, I'm glad you agree with the instruction manual of existence.
I think everything's going good, and that's it. Thank you.
You are welcome. Mahalo. Many, many, many in the years to come, because of the splitting of the parallel realities and the subsequent side effects on Earth, will move to Maui. Not sure why you're clapping for that, but just making an observation, that's all.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
How you doing?
Perfect, and you?
Really good, actually.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I have a lot of good questions. The first one is about the electromagnetic grid of the Earth.
Yes.
And the portals that open up.
Yes.
And people utilizing those portals for travel.
Yes.
Now, those portals
become more common and more consciously done on your planet in the years to come, although it does happen from time to time, now and then, randomly, and some people that are proficient at this can do that already on your planet, but it's not that many.
You mean proficiently, like simply with their physical body, activating the whole body system electromagnetic?
Well, in other words, proficiently in the sense of being consciously aware of where the portals are, when they open, and passing through them.
Yeah. Now, when that happens, my question about that is,
yes,
does that happen where a person walks through a portal and it's already designated to some extent where they're going to go, or is it?
It can be. Some portals are like that, and some portals kind of fluctuate.
Okay. So like consciousness plays a big part in it as well, where a person's focused?
Let's look at it this way. Let's talk about it dimensionally.
Yeah.
In one dimension, a portal is a point. In 2 dimensions, a portal is a circle that you can step through. In 3 dimensions, like your reality, a portal is a sphere. And that's also 4th dimensional, because then in time, the sphere moving in time becomes a cylinder, a tunnel, or what you would call a wormhole. Yes?
Yeah.
Then in 5th dimension, it becomes a hypersphere. And a hypersphere means that whatever point you enter will actually be a completely different tunnel to a different location, even though it's all connected to the same sphere. So your world has point portals, it has circle portals, it has sphere portals, it has wormhole portals, column portals, cylinder portals, if you will, and it has metaspheres, hypersphere portals as well. So each of them does a kind of different thing. Wormhole portals in general can be connected between 2 points, and sometimes it can fluctuate. But for the most part, it is the hyperspheres that are connected to multiple points, and depending on how you enter, where you enter, the angle of entry determines where you wind up on the other side.
So does the pineal gland utilize it? Do we utilize the pineal gland as a hypersphere?
The pineal gland is very, very critical for understanding how to navigate the portals and how to sense when they're open and where they go. So the production, the high production in the pineal gland of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, is crucial to reach a certain state of production and a certain vibratory frequency to be able to sense the portals more clearly and exactly what vibrational location they connect to.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Because the energy is basically information telling you
Yes.
what the portal is
Yes.
in detail.
Yes.
Okay.
And that translates strongly when the pineal gland is at a certain frequency based on the amount of DMT that it produces naturally.
Okay. And then with plant medicines,
Yes.
for let's say there's
Sometimes
MAO
that can
inhibitors.
open it up. The teachers that grow from the earth naturally can help open some of that up, yes.
Will that help with opening it up to a prolonged, long-term experience throughout a person's life of
That
DMT?
depends on you. In
Of
other
course,
words,
okay.
remember that what the plant teachers are teaching you is how to recognize that state, but you have to get to a place where you know you can simply recreate that state without the plant teacher. Otherwise, the plant teacher has just become a crutch or an addiction.
Right, because I feel that deep breathing actually activates the DMT more
yes,
than
it
anything
does.
else I've ever
It
experienced
is
with
one of the
plants.
reasons why, this is not something that the channel did consciously, it's one of the reasons why when you experience the idea of this state of our connection with the channel, you hear the breathing change.
Yeah.
It's actually pumping up the production of DMT, so it gives the channel's body more ability for us to utilize it in piercing into different dimensional realms to extract the information that we give to you.
All right, awesome.
It makes the channel a better translation device, a better telephone, in a sense,
Okay,
and a better switchboard.
all right. I have another question
Yes.
about, you're talking about the hybrid children
Yes.
having certain locations on the earth
Yes.
to help with the
Evolution of your
Evolution of
planet
the
into
planet.
the 6th hybrid race, yes.
Now, what about other aspects that we've been doing on Earth with our underground bases, our underwater bases, like Pine Gap and underwater bases in Guam area and
Yes,
stuff like
what
that?
about them?
Well, there's a lot of extraterrestrial interaction there, so there
Yes.
is a sense of meshing with humanity, but it's
There
in a
is,
different
but there
way.
are also a number of different agendas going on.
That's true. Yeah. So because we are doing that, but in a different way with different agendas,
Yes.
is there any way of bringing that more to the surface, or is that going to be too much for the collective?
It will eventually come out, but understand also that the different agendas are representative of different parallel realities that will have different experiences.
Okay. Okay. And then I have another question about how you guys track time or create
Track it?
calendars. Yeah, because on Earth we actually track time and create
don't.
calendars and stuff.
We don't.
So is it more of
We operate on pure synchronism.
Okay, so it's more like subjective instead of objective of like
Because it is
great-
always subjective.
Okay.
Objectivity, in a sense, is your projected illusion, but it's a subjective point of view of objectivity.
Okay, so it's kind of like the ancient tribes around the planet. Some of them had calendars, but they saw every day as a celebration.
Yes, in a sense, you could put it that way. But again, pure synchronism allows us to simply know that we will be where we need to be, exactly when we need to be there, interacting with exactly who we need to interact with at that exact precise moment. We don't have to plan it.
Okay.
It just happens. Because we are all operating on synchronism. We're all operating in the now. Because everything happens now. but it happens in different versions of now. And by being our true selves, we automatically chart our course through all the different versions of now, and we wind up exactly where we need to be now. Does that help?
Yeah.
Obviously, we understand that there are natural cycles in the universe, day, night, things like that. We obviously can recognize that. If you want to say we're tracking that, that's fine. But we don't really look at it in a time-based way. Because for us, in our reality, it's far different than what you all may think. We're not just a bunch of extraterrestrials walking around on the surface of a planet. In our reality, because of our nature at this point, because we are quasi-physical, we actually experience our world as a multiplicity of dimensional experiences. We are walking through a dream after dream after dream after dream in multiple dimensions in many directions simultaneously.
Awesome. Yeah. More of that. That sounds great.
By following the formula, that's what happens eventually.
All right. Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Yes. Good day to you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is exciting.
Yes.
So, I've noticed in the last several years, I have interacted with strangers that sort of come to me, and it feels exciting, and we have a conversation, and in the next moment we part, and I no longer see that person, like they disappear completely.
Well, then they may have fulfilled the purpose of having met.
Are they someone who teleported here for
Not
a particular
necessarily,
purpose?
no. You all act as reflectors for one another. Sometimes it can be beings from other realms, but very often it doesn't need to be. You all can perform the task of being the reflections that you need in any given moment, so people will come in and out of your lives. If they specifically have a particular reason for being there at that moment, and whatever it is you need to get out of it to become more of yourself, that might also allow them at that moment to get what they need to become more of themselves, then the purpose of the meeting may have been fulfilled and you may never need to see them again. And it can be as simple as that, and they can be just as human as you.
Sometimes it's just a touch, who I've noticed.
Yeah. Again, sometimes it might be something from somewhere else, but not all the time, and probably not even most of the time. Because again, you can all serve that function for each other as reflections of one another. That's what relationships are for. Reflecting to each other what you each need to know to become more of yourself, to support the other in that process. Yeah? Okay. And it can happen the way you have described it. That may just be your particular way of gathering that information. Sort of like one of your bees flitting from flower to flower to gather pollen. That bee may never see that flower again, but it's got what it needs, so it moves on.
Okay.
Yeah? So you might just be a busy little bee.
Or a hummingbird. I feel like a hummingbird sometimes.
All right, or a hummingbird. Animal of your choice.
I, in the last several months, have been seeing the number 27.
That's your synchronicity marker then.
What does that mean?
Many times when you have those kinds of numerical synchronicities, they act as road signs or markers to let you know that at that particular moment, you're exactly in the state you need to be in. Stay there. It reminds you, it reflects to you, hey, you're in that state again. Be there.
And what does that have to do with today's topic of 2027?
You tell me. It's your synchronicity. How does it reflect to you? Does it add to the idea that the 27 keeps coming up for you in all sorts of interesting ways to let you know that you are correctly aligned with your path? And that you are exactly where you need to be?
Yes.
Then you have your answer.
That makes sense.
Yes, it does. That's why I said it.
Right. All right. A couple of years ago, I saw a UFO on a very busy street corner.
The UFO was actually on the corner, or you were?
Well, I was in a car on the corner of Ventura Boulevard.
And where was the vehicle? You're calling a UFO.
Yes, it was square shaped and it was pretty much right above me.
Yes. Color?
It was nighttime. I'm not exactly sure, but it did have a
Lights?
ring of light
All
around
right.
it that kept changing color.
All right.
And it was square shaped.
All right. And so?
So I'm wondering who it was and why were they there?
Oh, all right. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
There is an airport nearby. There are planes taking off right now. Who is on them?
People.
You think we keep track of every single spaceship?
No.
All right. So, I can't necessarily tell you who precisely.
Maybe the type of extraterrestrial.
I can't tell you that either, not because I don't know, but because I'm not supposed to.
Why is that?
I can't tell you why. All I can tell you is this. There's no accident in the timing, but the best way to understand it is what kind of a state did it put you in when you had the experience? That's the reason for it. That much I can tell you. So, what did you experience in that state? How did you feel?
Excited.
And? Anything else?
Um,
Did you feel more connected to
Yes.
realities beyond yourself?
yes, absolutely.
Then that's a signal and a marker for you that that feeling, anytime you remember what that felt like, even if it doesn't feel the same again, you're in that state and therefore come from that state in all the actions that you take. That's what will serve you best.
That makes sense.
That's how to use it. Yes?
Yes.
In time, we may be able to tell you more specifically who it was, but right now it doesn't serve you to know that, and it is not the appropriate timing for us to divulge that information.
Is that being or several beings, is that related to who rang my doorbell? I think it was either that night or a couple nights after.
No. That's something different as we read your energy.
Can you tell me about that experience?
No. It isn't timing for these things.
Okay. And all right, around the same time as when I saw the UFO,
Yes.
I was in a meditation and
Yes.
I saw myself interacting with an extraterrestrial.
Yes.
And I asked him his name and he said Bashar.
Nope.
That wasn't you.
Nope.
Why did I get the name Bashar?
Because you're familiar with us and the vibration of that being is similar to ours, so you assumed it was us. But it's your own future self that's connected to our society. So the word Bashar is simply your translation, because remember, we don't have names. Bashar is not my name.
Right.
It's a recognition of a vibration. It's the recognition of what I do, because Bashar simply means messenger. So it was simply saying, I have a message. I'm a messenger. The translation into Bashar is simply what you're familiar with. That's why your brain translated the vibration, I'm a messenger, into the word Bashar. Yes?
Interesting.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's you interacting with your own future self.
I like that.
All right. And that gives you the biggest hint I can possibly give you about the UFO.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, fly away, little hummingbird.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Such a pleasure to communicate with you.
And for us as well to communicate with you.
Thank you. What's my frequency?
Right now, about 145 to 157,000 cycles per second.
Okay. When I
Does
was,
that really tell you anything?
I just think like compared to Jesus and Buddha and then your
Well,
vibration.
Jesus and Buddha were up in the 300,000 cycle per second range because they were truly being more of all that is.
Okay.
None of you are going to be in that range for a little while. You can be, but you're going through processes to recognize the awakening of the Christ consciousness and the Buddha nature within each of you. That's what those messages were all about. You are all Buddhas. You are all Christ because you are all children of God.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And last month, when I was taking quantum healing with
Yes.
my friend, I started channeling something called Zeus. What is it?
What can you translate as that word?
Felt like E.T. I was almost like felt like dying. I felt like very suffocating, dizzy, and it was.
So you were not used to handling that energy that quickly.
Well,
So it was something saying, hello, I'm here.
right,
We can work together,
right.
but I can only touch in briefly at the moment because you can't handle this energy yet.
Well, I just let them do whatever. I just let the resistance go, and I started feeling the energy, and they gave me a lot of answers.
Okay. Then you adapted very quickly. It touched in and got you used to the idea of what the energy felt like. You were willing to match that frequency and therefore establish a link and a communication channel. So, congratulations. What do you want to do with that? Now that you have established that link and can access information in the way that you prefer to, how does it excite you to use that ability?
Okay, it just happened next day too. While I
I
was
didn't ask you
sleeping.
that. I asked you, how are you excited to use that ability?
Like I'm gonna communicate with them.
All right, you're going to continue to communicate. You're going to continue to understand the answers to the questions that you have. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, and you will do that up to a certain point until you feel you have a deeper understanding of the connection, of the link, and of the information that you're receiving. And then what will you do with that information?
Okay.
What will you do with that information when you have enough?
I apply to my life.
Apply to your life, yes. Anything else? Any other expression that seems right for you?
What? Right? What? Highest excitement? What?
Right
Right.
for you?
Oh, right.
Right
Right.
for you?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Are you excited to be writing?
Yes.
Oh,
Lighting.
you sound so excited.
Lighting. Lighting.
Well, you're not there yet. That's all right. But that may be where it's leading, that you can then bring through information, writing it down in a kind of automatic way, or
Oh.
creating the ideas, penning them down in that way, and going from there. Yes?
Who are they?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
But they are, for now, the idea of the muse, inspiration, linking, creating a bridge and a connection for your own higher self to bring through more information in a way that's right for you. Yes?
Yes. Sounds very exciting.
It is. Keep going. It will get even more exciting.
Thank you. And another thing is, since last year, I'm working on my self-esteem, self-image,
Yes.
and so I
Yes.
write something like whenever I feel something negative, I write it down and then let it go.
Oh, you write
Write
it
it
down
down,
and let it go.
Let it go. I feel
Writing is already working for you.
Yes, it works.
All right. Well, congratulations.
It really works. And
All right. That's your permission slip. That's what gives your belief system the permission to let go of beliefs that don't work for you. Everyone has a different permission slip.
so every moment I'm brand new.
Repeat that.
Every moment I'm a new person.
You are new every moment, yes. Now you say it. Every moment I am new.
Every moment I'm new.
And now you say it. Took a while to catch on.
Every moment I'm brand new. I'm new.
Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Because you are literally new every moment. Literally a new person every moment. With a new past, as we discussed last night. With a new future every moment. Every change changes your past and your future because it has to all be one historic line in your space-time reality. So every change you make, every time you become a new person, every moment, that new person has to have a new past that makes logical sense in your space-time reality that would have had to happen to create that new person linearly. So you're constantly changing your past and your future from the present, from the now. That's why now is your point of power and why the past and the future are illusions that simply exist simultaneously with you. They're not really in the past. They're not really in the future. They all exist now.
So everything exists now.
Yes.
Future and past are illusion.
Yes.
Why my subconscious seems like holding some...
Because of what you are defining yourself to be now. Because you're creating the illusion of continuity that says, my past is real and affects me now. So I will hold on to things, beliefs that I don't prefer, because I believe more strongly that I have no way of letting them go because my past affects my present, when that's not necessarily true. You have to change your belief about your relationship to time, because time is an illusion.
Right. Right.
I know.
Right. But...
But
sometimes I cannot handle it.
yes, you can. It's just that you have a belief that you can't. Remember, negative beliefs don't want you to let them go. So negative beliefs will reinforce the idea that you can't handle letting them go in order to not let them go. You have to see through that as a trick of the negative belief. Again, it's not malicious. It's just the way they're designed, because all beliefs are designed to perpetuate themselves. If they weren't designed to perpetuate themselves, you wouldn't have a physical experience. You would never be able to believe anything is true. But you have to understand that the negative beliefs will use all sorts of other negative aspects in order to get you to not let them go, to perpetuate themselves. In other words, positive beliefs are telling you what's true about you. Negative beliefs are telling you what's not true about you. So they have to work harder to get you to believe what's not true. And they will do that by using such things as fear, or the belief that you can't handle something, or many other devices. But you have to understand that's just what they do, so you won't let them go. The fear, when it grows, the more fearful you become. That tells you that the negative belief has to work that much harder, because it realizes you're getting close to letting it go. So the more afraid you are, the closer you are to letting the fear go. That's the trick. You have to see through that and just keep going.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's enough for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
My friend.
That's enough for now. Thank you.
My friend.
That's enough for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.